We want to solve the given rational equations. The main goal when solving a rational equation is to determine what to multiply both sides of the equation by to eliminate the fractions. So if we look at our first example, we have a denominator of 5x, a denominator of 1, and a denominator of x. So what we're looking for is the least common denominator or least common multiple of 5x, 1, and x, which in this case would be 5x. If we multiply both sides of the equation or each term by 5x, it will eliminate the fractions and then we can solve the equation. So we'll first rewrite the equation. 2 over 5x minus 3 over 1 equals 4 over x. Then again we're going to multiply both sides of the equation or each term by 5x or 5x over 1. And now we're going to simplify. Notice here we have 5x over 5x. This is going to simplify to 1. Here nothing simplifies, but the denominator is already 1, so that's okay. And here we have a factor of x over a factor of x that simplifies to 1. Now we'll determine these products and solve the equation. This first product here is just going to be 2 minus 3 times 5x is 15x. And on the right side we just have 4 times 5, which is equal to 20. So now to solve for x, we'll subtract 2 on both sides of the equation. This will be 0, so we have negative 15x equals positive 18. We'll divide both sides by negative 15. So we have x equals, here we do have a common factor of 3, so if we divide both the top and bottom by 3, notice how we would have 6 over negative 5, or just negative 6/5. Now there is one more thing we should mention. Since we do have x in the denominator, we know x could never be equal to 0. And we should be aware of this because if we did solve this equation and we had x equals 0, of course it would not be a solution because we'd have division by 0. Let's take a look at our second example. Notice again we have a denominator of x, which right away means x could never be 0 since we'd have division by 0. And now to determine what to multiply both sides of the equation by, notice how here we have a denominator of 1, a denominator of x, and another denominator here of 1. So this one's pretty straightforward. The least common denominator would be x, so we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by x. So we'll have 2x over 1 minus 16 over x equals 4 over 1. And now we'll multiply both sides or each term by x, or x over 1. Notice here's the only factor that simplifies out. We have x over x, which equals 1. But notice how now all the denominators are 1, so we've eliminated the fraction. So here we have 2x squared. This will be minus 16 equals, this will be 4x. And now we have a quadratic equation to solve. So let's set it equal to 0 and see if it factors. So we'll subtract 4x on both sides of the equation. Notice how we have 0 on the right side, and we have 2x squared minus 4x minus 16. First step in factoring is to factor out the greatest common factor, which in this case would be 2. So we'd have x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Looks like this will factor. Factors of x squared are x and x. The factors of negative 8 that add the negative 2 are negative 4 and positive 2. So this equation equals 0 when x equals 4 or x equals negative 2. And again, notice neither of these values would make the denominator equal to 0, and therefore we have two solutions. Okay, we'll look at two more examples in the next video.